Ustaz.
So kita dapat tajuk first law of thermodynamics. Korang tengok ah?
Dah tengok lah ke semua dekat GC? Madam bagi pagi tadi.
Ada aku tengok.
Kita dah dapat first law kan? Ke second law?
First law.
First law.
Ya, first law.
Dah baca dah kan semua tajuk tu? Ke ada tak baca?
Baca sikit.
Baca habis dah.
Senang sikit nak bagi topik nanti. Dah baca semua.
Boleh bagi.
Ya? Bagi Mi.
Ya.
Tak dengar Kimi. Tapi tajuk macam mana kita nak bagi ikut undian ke siapa yang nak pilih sendiri ke macam mana?
Ambil sendiri.
Ambil sendiri lah.
Ya.
Dia ada 5 ke 6 dalam tu? Rasa macam 6 ke 5 subtopik dalam first law.
5 kot.
5
Tak silap lah.
Seorang satu lagi tu? Itu ambil yang present dulu ambil ke macam mana? Lepas tu kita nak start record pukul berapa? Nak baca dulu ke?
3 minit.
3 minit lepas ni? Kita buat revision dulu lah. Lepas tu baru start record.
Buat revision apa dulu baru start record.
Okay boleh.
Okay boleh. Boleh.
Okay. Nanti nak record kita check balik dalam group.
Ya. Bagi tugas semua dalam group.
Okay.
Sama tiap orang. Masa semua sama. Tiap orang sama. Sama rata.
Ya.
Okay. Jumpa nanti lah. Kita baca dulu. 5 minit ke 3 minit lepas tu kita check balik dalam group.
Okay.
Yang first law tu sampai energy aku.
Tak. Pakai record tak apa.
Boleh Firdaus. Kau ambil sampai internet. Kau start dulu lah. Nanti kau bagi salam semua.
Kak.
Lepas tu korang. Aku ambil dulu lah. Ada tip dengan thermal process.
Aku ambil hit.
Okay. Kita baca dulu. Ada apa-apa nak tanya, nanti tanya dalam group.
Take the main point of every subtopic.
Okay.
Boleh.
Okay.
Okay, beres.
Our group member which is Muhammad FIRDAUS, which is me, Muhammad FIRDAUS bin ABDUL, Muhammad SYAZWAN bin AHMAD SABERI, AHMAD HAKIMI bin ZUHAIR, and Muhammad SHAKIR ZUFAYRI bin MOHAMAD SAUPI. I will start with initial energy. First of all, what is thermodynamics? Thermodynamics is the study of the energy chain that accompany physical and chemical chain, the interconversion of heat and other kind of energy. The function of law thermodynamics is enable to predict whether the reaction can occur under a given set of conditions. First law of thermodynamics states that energy is conserved, it can be neither created. Boleh tak? No?
Boleh.
Nanti
Uh,
waktu sampai turn korang kan, kau sebut nama. Contoh aku cakap next, Muhammad Syazwan kan. Okay, my name is Muhammad Syazwan bin AHMAD SABERI. I will present about it macam tu. Kan? Boleh record? Dah?
Start discussion
Okay.
Dah rekod.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. Today we will present about first law of thermodynamics. In this topic, they have 4 subtopics, which is heat, which is initial energy, work, heat, and thermal process. Our group member, which is me, Muhammad FIRDAUS bin ABDUL, Muhammad Syazwan bin AHMAD SABERI, AHMAD HAKIMI bin ZUHAIR, and Muhammad SHAKIR ZUFAYRI bin Muhammad SAUPI. Okay, I will choose initial energy. And the rest?
For me, I would like to choose word.
And I will discuss about heat.
And I will choose reversible process, irreversible process, and thermal process.
Okay. Let me start with initial energy. So
Sure.
first of all, what is thermodynamics? Thermodynamics is the study of the energy change that accompany physical and chemical change, the interconvention of it, and other kind of energy. The function of law of thermodynamics is enable to predict whether the reaction can occur under a given set of conditions. Some spontaneous reactions occur at extremely slow rates, which are not observed at ordinary temperature and pressure. Okay, the first law of thermodynamics states that energy is conserved. It can be neither created nor destroyed. Okay, what is energy? Energy is the capacity or ability of a system to do work or to supply heat. The unit of energy is joule. The type of energy is radiant energy comes from the sun and is a primary energy source. Thermal energy is the energy associated with the random motion of atom and molecule. Chemical energy is the energy stored within the bond and structure unit of chemical substance. Nuclear energy is the energy stored within the collection of neutron and proton in the atom. And lastly, energy is potential energy is the energy available by virtue of an object position. Okay, initial energy. Initial energy or E, the sum of kinetic and potential energy of the particle that form the system. The initial energy of the system is still proportional to its temperature. Any change in the internal energy of the system is equal to the difference between its initial and final value. Okay, next I will pass to Syazwan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, madam. My name is Muhammad Syazwan bin Ahmad Sabri. Today I will talk about work. Okay, work by definition is the energy transfer between system and the surrounding due to force acting through distance. Work is also done when an object is moved against some opposing force. For example, word of expansion, gas expanding. We can assume that gas as an object. So when the gas is moved, means that gas is expand. It will go against the atmospheric pressure. And then atmospheric pressure is the opposing force. So when the gas expanding, it will driving force to against the atmospheric pressure. Another example is volume gets larger, so the delta V is positive. It caused by the higher pressure inside. Work is done by the gas on the surrounding. So gas loses energy to the surrounding, and then so work done is negative. When volume gets smaller, the delta V is negative. It caused by the higher pressure outside. Work is done on the gas by the surrounding. Gas gain energy from the surrounding, so the work is positive. So we can calculate the amount of work of expansion done by using the formula W equal to negative P delta V. W is stand for work, the unit is joule, P is pressure, the unit is ATM, and delta V is change in volume, the unit is liter. Change in volume means that change of the volume of the gas expand from the initial volume to the final volume. Now I would like to pass to the next presenter, Ahmad Hakimi, to talk about heat.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is AHMAD. So I will talk about heat. Heat is a form of energy and is the total energy of a substance. Heat can be transferred or flow from a high temperature to the lowest temperature of any object. Heat transfer change the internal energy of both systems involved. Heat can also be transferred by four things, which is conduction, convection, advection, and lastly radiation. Heat is also a spontaneous transfer of thermal energy between two bodies that are at different temperature. Flow from the warmer object to the cooler object. Heat is the energy transfer from a system to its surrounding or vice versa. For example, the attractive and repulsive force between the particles of atoms, ions, molecules within the system. Next is specific heat and heat capacity. Heat capacity of a substance is the ratio of heat absorbed or released by that substance to the corresponding temperature, rise or fall. It has a unit of joule per kilo or joule per Celsius. The heat capacity of a substance per unit mass is called specific heat. Specific heat is represented as alphabet S. Specific heat at a constant volume is C. Next, concept of enthalpy. The heat content of the system is known as the enthalpy of the system. The total heat absorbed or liberated in a chemical reaction is called the heat of reaction. We can't measure the absolute value of the enthalpy of the system, but we can measure the change in the enthalpy. The technique of the experiment is measuring enthalpy change, which is called calorimetry. Calorimeter is a device for measuring quantities of heat. Last, the effect of temperature and on enthalpy. The measurement of heat at constant pressure, difference of heat content between products and reactant, and the unit is kilojoule per mole. Heat capacity is amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a substance. Specific heat of substance is the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of substance. Next, let's continue with Muhammad Shakir.
Assalamualaikum, madam. My name is Muhammad Shakir ZUFAYRI bin Muhammad SAUPI. I will continue this presentation. Reversible process is the topic in first law. Reversible process occur when the backward reaction in bracket product into two reactants take place relatively easily under certain condition. The product can react to produce the original reactant again, can restore both system and surrounding to their initial state. Reversible change like melting and dissolving can be changed back again. Mixture can be separated out by method like filtering and evaporating. Next is irreversible process. Irreversible process, most chemical reactions are considered irreversible. The process that are made cannot readily be changed back into their reactants. They go to completion and cannot be reserved easily. System and its surrounding cannot both be restored to their initial condition. All spontaneous processes are irreversible, and all real processes are irreversible. Example of an irreversible process is the direct transfer of heat from a hot object to a cool object and burning. Last, thermal process. What is thermal process? Thermal process is high temperature processing involved with a heating process at various variations of temperature and time. The process itself can be done in a batch system, in bracket in container sterilization, or with a continuous system, in bracket aseptic processing. The main purpose of this high temperature processing process is to extend the durability of perishable food product and increase their safety during storage for a certain period of time. There are types of thermal process. First, adiabatic process. An adiabatic process is a process during which no heat enter or leaves the system. Second, isobaric process. Isobaric process and is a process that occur and contains pressure. Third, isochoric process. An isochoric process is a process that takes place in constant volume. And last, in the type thermal process is isothermal process. An isothermal process occur at constant temperature. I think that's all from my group, and thank you watching my recorded video.
That's all from us from Group 1. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.